Welcome to the Essential Wellness Pathway to Success. I'm Aisha Harley, doTERRA Diamond Wellness Advocate, and I am here with Lita Bathow. We are on Class 3 of our 4-part Pathway to Success series, which is designed to provide you with the mindset, tools, and strategies to succeed with doTERRA's business opportunity.
Each week we offer a theme and some action steps to take after the class, before you watch the next one. These 4 sequential classes are available to you and your teams at any time. In our last 2 classes, we talked about preparing to start your business. We talked about why doTERRA's business model works and why they're a great choice. And we talked about how to find a network to begin to share the products with. With this class, we are focusing on what to do once you've intrigued some people through samples and letting them know about doTERRA. At this point, you've identified some people who are interested in learning, which, as you might remember from class 2, is the first door of openness, learning about taking care of our health with natural products. Those people are the ones you can then invite to door number 2. Ask them, are you interested in using the products? The focus of this class is to teach and enroll.
We teach classes to give others an essential oil experience and educate and empower them to go home and safely use essential oils in their lives.
At a class, everyone gets to experience the oils firsthand, which is very important.
The class is also our opportunity to begin to nourish your network of new customers and future business partners. I like to invite friends to classes by phone or in person whenever possible. We often create Facebook invites and emails as a reference. However, calling or texting is the best way to know someone is receiving your invitation and giving it the personal touch. We encourage you to pick up the phone and call your friends to invite them.
Just be yourself. Ask permission-based questions as we covered in class 2, like, would it be okay if I invited you to a class? Or would you like for me to send you some samples? And at the right moment, invite them to your class. If a particular class time doesn't work for them, sometimes I ask if they'd like to just meet up for tea one-on-one.
Usually I set these up if someone can't make a class or if they have specific concerns that they want to talk about. This is a great way to get to know someone and connect. I do these in person or over the phone, especially if they are far away.
When you have a one-on-one, some of the advantages are that it's easier to schedule it because there's only the 2 of you involved. It's more personal. It's easier to close the sale with just one person. Someone can get a complete experience of the oils. And it's a great follow-up option for friends who aren't able to attend a class or those who did attend a class but didn't enroll at class.
So I have a diamond success tip for you. Remember to keep your permission-based questions in mind and start the meeting off with asking, so Lita, please tell me how I can support you today. What areas in your life are the most out of balance, etc. And then pause and listen. One-on-ones are great because you can focus more specifically on meeting the needs of the individual and keep your focus entirely on them.
I think that's a great idea, Aisha, and it might even be a good idea for everyone to write those questions down as a starting point. The questions Aisha just asked are, please tell me how I can support you, and what area of your life are you the most out of balance?
Then listen.
The most common way we typically share is with classes. Classes are fun, and it's a wonderful way to bring your friends and acquaintances together to share your knowledge. We recommend keeping your class short, simple, and experiential.
Another success tip. Share from your experience, keep it from your heart. Remember, keep it simple and share the oils, and overall keep the class short and to the point. This is another place where consistency comes in. Just like making contacts and talking with people, It's a good strategy to teach a class consistently, whether it's once a week, once a month, whatever is right for you. You'll reach many more people, and you'll always have an event for people to come and learn about the oils.
This is especially true as you're inviting and talking and meeting people. It's so useful to have a class upcoming that you know is going to happen and you know you can invite them to. Once they get to the class, there's a nice dynamic with having a group there, people sharing stories and experiences.
It's also how we build community and demonstrate how the business works. Once people have been to a few classes, they can see how easily it would be to duplicate what you're doing. This is the beauty of network marketing.
As you begin to plan your class, pick a date and set the time. Commit to that and never cancel a class once you've started inviting people. I personally have seen many new wellness advocates plan a class, begin inviting, then panic when they think no one is going to come to their class and cancel. Please, once you plan a class, commit to it. Continue inviting and reminding people to come up until the class happens. If 10 people show up, that's great. If one person shows up, that's also great. Just remind yourself that whoever shows up is there to receive what you have to offer. That person is looking for options, which you will provide. If no one shows up, teach the class anyway. You can teach a class to your cat or your bookshelf. This is a perfect way to practice. Aisha and I want to assure you, this happens to everyone. It's happened to me, and it's happened to Aisha. Sometimes no one shows up. Don't take it personally. Go ahead and use the time wisely, and don't get discouraged.
Just think, we wouldn't be here today if we'd thrown in the towel on those classes where nobody came.
Exactly.
Justin Harrison even told a story where he just recently taught a class and nobody came.
And yeah. Yeah, so it happens to everybody.
The point being, just keep moving forward.
Right.
And make sure you have all your supplies you'll need. And invite your team. This is really important. When it's time for new people to decide what they would like at the end of class, it really helps to have experienced wellness advocates to have on hand to advise them. You can ask your upline to help and anyone on your team who understands the enrolling process. This is also a great training ground for teaching your new business builders how to host an event.
Keep in mind, if you're doing this as a business, you'll be getting commissions 5 times per month. As your business grows, you'll often be getting commissions from things that your builders have done, so you may not even be aware of them. For this reason, so that you don't miss any commissions, always keep your loyalty rewards program template in your virtual office set at over 100 PV. Even if I'm not sure what I'm going to order next month, I just put some products into my loyalty rewards order template so that it is always over a 100 and I never miss any commissions.
Sometimes new people ask me if they can invite too many people to their class.
I would say probably not.
Because of the nature of this, life happens. A good formula to follow is that one out of 4 will attend. So if you want 5 people in your class, invite 20.
It's also essential to remind people to come before your event, especially the people who have said yes, they want to come. Sometimes, if I don't send a text the day before the class, people just forget to come.
Here's another success tip for you. Let your guests know that you are offering a free gift for those attending, so you will need a firm commitment from them.
doTERRA offers the Class in the Box system, which will give you some business tools, but most importantly, you'll receive 20 living magazines and 20 small bottles of wild orange to offer as your gift for attending. This is a great economical way to have some incentives to offer your guests.
And your guests love them.
I know, it's so great for people to walk away from class with a free oil. So, as you prepare for success. By taking a few necessary steps, it will set you and your guests up for a great event. When I first started out, right after I enrolled, I actually asked Aisha to come teach a class at my house.
And that's what I did, because that's what we do to support our new builders and teach them how to teach.
It's a great way to learn on the job. I also went to other classes to check them out and see how other people were doing it, and watched webinars online to learn more phrasing and strategies.
Almost every month, doTERRA is offering a special, or we offer special incentives at classes to help people get the most out of their enrollment. So it's great to get that all figured out ahead of time and be ready to offer it.
Sometimes I even type out all the specials that I have to offer on a sheet so that people have a visual guide when they're at the class.
So let's talk about what supplies you'll need for a class. First of all, you'll need your oils.
Do you need to have all the oils?
Not really. People don't have the attention span to hear about more than 8 or 9 oils. That can become overwhelming if you offer too many. So even if you have just the smallest kit of oils, you can start teaching classes.
We also recommend using tear sheets, which give you, as the presenter, a guide to follow and makes the class very clear and duplicable. We recommend the Nature's Medicine Cabinet tear sheet from Edge Success. It's clear, it covers the key information, and will be an easy class for you to learn. Even if you have no upline to support you, this tool makes it simple. You can simply read through the tear sheet and your class will have all the information that they need to begin using the oils.
We also recommend having A to Z guides so that people can look up their own health concerns. Even though this may seem simple, this step empowers your guests to find their own solutions. I also offer the Modern Essentials book as an incentive to set up the Loyalty Rewards order, so I have a few of those on hand for new enrollees to take away. Seth Resume and Rod Richardson have created a very effective set of business tools that includes tear pads and enrollment sheets for classes, a membership overview to help new wellness advocates understand the benefits of their account, and a variety of options are available.
The membership overview really helps new customers stay with you and new oil users learn how to use their oils. It makes the big picture of wellness so clear.
Also included is a business overview to educate people on the basics of the business, and 4 audio CD set that is great and goes through the steps of find, teach, enroll, and duplicate. I recommend the system because it's effective, it's clear and easy, and of course, you make it your own, but it offers an excellent basic template. And I'll give you a tip. I like to listen to it in the car.
Oh, I do too. I play those CDs in my car, and Seth and Rod have a really engaging style, and they make it sound really kind of easy and fun to do this business, and have a lot of good tips included in the CDs. So they're definitely worth listening to.
So let's talk about event flow when you teach. First of all, you want to respect everyone's time and stay within the hour that you invited them over for. Try to start on time and keep the teaching part of the class to 45 minutes. That way, you should have plenty of time to wrap it up and advise people on their enrollment kits.
There's definitely a certain flow to the class, beginning with edification. Let's do a quick model of this, Aisha.
If I were teaching a class at Lita's house, first Lita would say,
"Welcome, everyone. We're so fortunate to have Aisha with us today. She's really an expert at the essential oils. She's used them for several years, and she has a lot of education and training on the subject. I know she has a lot of great information to share with us, and we're lucky to have her here tonight."
Thank you so much, Lita. Thanks for opening your home to me, and thank you everyone for coming. You're in great hands with Lita, since she's been my friend for many years, and I've seen her really embrace the oils, and she is really an expert herself. If you have any questions in the future about the oils, definitely see her as your own source of oil knowledge.
With this short conversation, the guests, who are probably my warm market or my friends, which are usually the first people we end up contacting and inviting, well, you know how your friends just see you as your friend. So as Aisha talks about me, they'll begin to see me in this new light as someone that they can actually look to for oil advice. This is also the advantage of not teaching your own friends at first, but instead, if possible, asking an upline or an experienced person from your team to come teach as a guest, because then there's that sense of an expert coming in and people will look at them as an expert and listen.
Exactly. It's going to be easier to stay on time if you simply teach what is on the tear pad. With the Edge system, you can simply read what is on it, and everyone can follow along. Pass around the oils at the appropriate times. People may ask questions, and it's great for everyone to get engaged and involved, but remember to balance that with staying on track.
Everything you've done this far, beginning with making your list, to getting some training, then inviting some people, up until hosting and teaching the class, has led up to this moment when you're ready to ask for the enrollment. So this is an important time. Stay very, very present and alert at the end of the class. Maintain a focus on the oils and completing the process. It's important to at some point ask each person a direct enrolling question like, can I help you pick out a kit? Or would you like me to show you how to get started? At the end of the class, share a bit of your story and why you are teaching the class. Connect with your own passion for what you're doing. And when you connect with how strongly you feel about what you're doing, your audience will feel it, and they'll feel how strongly you feel about it. Buying is an emotional experience, and this is a perfect time for them to actually feel something.
My diamond tip is to have a closing statement that will bring people back to that emotional feeling. Keep in mind, typically people buy based on emotion. I might say a brief couple of sentences again about why I am doing doTERRA and how it has dramatically impacted my life, and then let them know we are available to help them find the best solutions for their individual needs.
Focusing a bit more on the close, because we know this part can feel uncomfortable. This is the part of the class when you've finished your presentation, you explain how to purchase the oils, and then you're going to give each person a little help and direction as that you help them decide what to do next.
Maintain focus, limit conversation to things related to enrolling, and most of all, be present.
It's so important at this point to use permission-based questions, which we talked about in class 2. Remember, listening and being interested is more important than being interesting. Ask permission whenever possible. In fact, write these questions down, which you see on the slide. You can ask, how did you feel about the class? And what products would you most be interested in trying? Follow that up with a direct enrolling question such as, would you like to set up an account today? Which kit interests you the most?
And whenever possible, have other wellness advocates on hand to give one-on-one attention to your guests.
It's so common as you're going through this process to begin guessing whether or not your guests can afford to enroll and which kit they can afford. Make no assumptions. Instead, focus on what you have to offer. The fact is, everyone has the same amount of money, not as much as they would like to have. Remember that people simply spend their money on what they feel they can justify, and money is never really the determining factor in the sale. People buy what they value from those they know, like, and trust.
So keep this in mind. doTERRA has a serious value proposition. Safer, less expensive, and oftentimes more effective solutions than synthetic drugs. People using oils are empowered in their homes, and they save money on doctor's visits and oftentimes do not even need synthetic drugs after using the oils. So we have some more closing tips for you. By this point, your potential enrollees have gotten to know a bit about the oils and probably had a couple of experiences with them. Most people won't even attend a class until they're pretty much ready to buy, and they are just waiting for you to show them how.
Many of the people that I work with begin with the mindset of some version of spending, what we call spending other people's money. This means that we are thinking about whether or not the person in front of us can afford the oils, like I was just saying. Especially if we're working with a friend, we might start to think, well, I don't want to push them. I think I'll just suggest the smallest kit.
Honestly, that's what happened when I enrolled you, Lita. We were friends, and I offered you the smallest kit. I was shy and afraid to tell you about the options and didn't want to assume that you'd want to buy a big kit.
But I did. When my little kit arrived in the mail, I instantly returned it and got an oil sharing kit, which was over $1,000.
So we're sharing this because there was a big lesson. Our job is to offer what is available. It's a simple fact that the bigger kits are a better value. So offer what you know to be the best value, then allow the person to decide for themselves what they can afford. Please do not decide for them.
The reality is, if you never tell anyone about the diamond kit, no one will ever buy one. We all have the same amount of money, not enough, but each of us buys what we find value in and can justify. So if we are well educated on the potential of these oils and all their uses, we will each have the power to make those decisions for ourselves.
Exactly. If we practice listening more than having our own agenda, we can simply facilitate the process so that our customer can decide for themselves. So to summarize, 80% of your guests are ready to buy. Most oftentimes, they need to go through 4 touches before they make the purchase. So if the class is their first touch, remember to do the follow-up. Make sure and ask enrolling questions. We'll say it again. Don't spend other people's money. Seek to understand. Listen, listen, listen. Be interested rather than interesting, and be present and not distracted.
Something people often feel awkward explaining as well is the benefits of loyalty rewards. So it's helpful to practice a little bit and prepare your way of saying it. I believe that this chart can actually be found on the back of the tear sheet we've been mentioning during this class. It's important to be clear when explaining loyalty rewards. Keep in mind that your guests have already heard quite a bit of information by the time you get to this. It's important to be simple, and remember that you will be able to go into further detail with your guests once they've enrolled and you do the membership overview at a later time. The night of the class, keep it really simple. Aisha, can you model how you would say this in front of the class?
I would love to, Lita. I absolutely love this chart, and if you simply read this chart, it makes it so simple. So I'm going to model a close for you. So there are 3 ways to purchase your doTERRA products. Retail. If you purchase retail, you can go to the person's website that invited you and you'll pay full price. Or you can purchase with a standard wholesale, which will save you 25%. However, the most intelligent way to purchase is with the loyalty rewards program. When purchasing with loyalty rewards, you'll save that 25%. You'll receive 10 to 30% back in product credits. You'll qualify to receive income. You'll receive the free product of the month, plus you'll get your shipping costs back in product credits. So ultimately, you can receive 55% in savings and credits when using the loyalty reward program as a wholesale member.
The loyalty rewards program is very flexible and totally optional, and it's the smartest way to purchase products because it will save you a lot of money. To keep your account active, you need to order 1 item per month. It could be a single toothpaste or a single bottle of oil. To earn credit back, you'll order 50 PV on any given month, and with an order of 100 PV, you'll be eligible to receive commissions from doTERRA. Ordering 125 PV before the 15th of any month will earn you the product of the month. This is a free bottle of oil that is offered each month. If you ever need to cancel your loyalty rewards order, simply make sure you've cashed in your points, then give doTERRA a call to cancel it. It's super easy. With this program, there are lots of benefits and no penalties.
Again, when you are teaching, just simply read through the bullet points on the graph, which keeps it super simple and easy to understand. And if people have questions, you can continue just to refer them back to the graph.
And after your class, you'll probably have some new enrollments. I remember how excited I was when I enrolled my first people.
Me too.
When I enroll a new person, I always set them up, send them a welcome letter by email, and I add them to my doTERRA Facebook group. If you don't have your own group, of course, there's the Essential Wellness PDX Facebook page, or your upline may have a page of their own for your downline. Either at the class where they have enrolled, or a few days later, I schedule a membership overview with them.
A membership overview is a time for you to meet with your new member in person or by the phone and go over the benefits of the Loyalty Rewards program, how to use their virtual office, the business opportunity, and to answer any questions they may have in getting started with the oils.
Follow-up is extremely important, and it's key to your new person's success with doTERRA. Remember how it was when you first began. It's a new thing for many people, and they need some support and guidance. Definitely let them know that they can contact you or their sponsor for help. Check in on the Facebook group with questions or to learn tidbits of knowledge, and continue to invite them to events so that they can continue to learn.
So let's take a few minutes to go over the membership overview material. We emphasize this because, again, the fortune is in the follow-up. You are creating your financial pipeline with members who continue to purchase on the Loyalty Reward program because they've been educated about the benefits of how to use the product. For instance, if someone doesn't enroll with an LRP, I consider whether I've educated them well enough, because once one understands the system, why wouldn't they order on the Loyalty Rewards? So Lita and I are going to give you an overview of how to use this material.
It's an overview of the overview. On the first page, as you open this booklet that we call the membership overview, there's a place to write in the member ID number and password of the new person so that they have it in an easy place to find. There is a review of the benefits of ordering via Loyalty Rewards versus the standard order. And it explains how many benefits you get at what point with different sizes of orders on Loyalty Rewards. Also, at the bottom of this page are some frequently asked questions like, what are Loyalty Rewards points? How do I redeem them? How do I cancel my order if I need to, etc. So that's some really useful basic information that every wellness advocate needs.
It's really so simple that we encourage you just to read through the entire sheet with them, and it will explain everything clearly and concisely.
I think that's so important because, while it may be tempting to just give them this brochure, chances are if you just hand it to them and go away, they won't read through it. So if you read through it with them, it's just so much more effective.
Exactly.
On the second page is the personalized wellness plan. On the upper right is doTERRA's pyramid representing a healthy lifestyle, and this will open up their vision to how broad the reach of the doTERRA products can be in their life and how many applications there are. So we might start out thinking like, well, I just want a bottle of lavender to help me sleep or something. And this really opens up a whole new world of possibilities. You can ask the person again, where in your life do you feel most out of balance? And then in the boxes below, they can identify their 3 top wellness goals, and you can work with them using the Modern Essentials book to look things up to design some protocols just for them.
So let's say on that wellness pyramid that they tell you that they need to work on their daily nutrition. If you flip through the following pages, it corresponds with the wellness pyramid and it will give you recommendations. So we love this because if you're a new builder and you're still familiarizing yourself with the products, it will give you a step-by-step guideline and a way to guide your new customer. So for instance, If they're asking for a daily nutrition protocol, you would turn to that first page and you could recommend the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Terrazyme, the DDR Prime, and the Lemon. And then below, it's going to give you instructions, your morning, your afternoon, and your evening. So it's really that simple.
On the next page, it talks about diet and exercise, especially for those who may need to step up their exercise or maybe lose a few pounds. They recommend a protocol involving the Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend, the Trim Shake, the Mitomax for cellular support and stamina, and the Deep Blue products, which will help, of course, if someone steps up their exercise and also gets a little bit sore. They also include some recipes to make the Slim Shake all the more delectable, and a recipe for a wrap using the Slim and Sassy essential oil to use the oil topically and reduce cellulite. So these are really handy suggestions that will just give people more and more ideas of what to do.
So we want to take you through the whole brochure. So again, let's say they have some issues with emotional balance. So you could look at the mood management protocols, and you could ask them some more questions to ask them to share where they need support. And if you look at this diagram, if they're having anger issues or they're really impatient, you might want to suggest the Serenity. If they're really tense and worried, you could look at the Balance. And then we also highly suggest that they use a diffuser in their environment to help them receive maximum benefit. So you can use that chart to guide you. Down below, and I really love this, you can share with them how to boost their immunity through their everyday living simply by the toothpaste they use when they're brushing their teeth, the soap they're using when washing their hands, what are they washing their clothes with, products to clean their house with, and then teaching them about the On Guard.
I really love this section too, because household toxins are some of the biggest sources of toxins are in our environment. And so this introduces the concept of replacing some of those typical household cleaners and hand washing products and so on with totally natural, non-toxic products from doTERRA. And then finally, the brochure offers a 30-day cleansing protocol. It maps out a 30-day plan using the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Slim and Sassy, Terrazyme, Zendocrine oil and capsules, as well as the GX Assist and the PB Assist, which will create a really simple protocol that people can follow to detoxify their system and kind of reset their digestive system.
This is also such a wonderful program. We recommend that people implement this program after about 3 months of being on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and that everybody do it to help promote optimal health. And then on the back of the page, it's very simple. You're going to want to put in your information in your email and any other team support. So if you place them under another team member, you could offer them as a support. You can add in your weekly team calls, your team Facebook page, as well as your team website.
What if you don't have your own team website?
If you don't have your own team website, then of course you can look to whoever your upline is. And for our group, that would be Essential Wellness PDX. Also, this is the time that you could ask them if they're interested in sharing with others. If they say yes, you can either review this at the time of the meeting, or you could set up another follow-up meeting. You should then write these questions down. They're also on the back of the sheet. But you would say this as, are you open to sharing oils with others? Are you open to the idea of creating an income with doTERRA? And what best describes your level of interest? Would they like to host a class? Would they like to get their products for free? Or would they like to create an income with doTERRA? So from that point, we have a business overview.
Right. So if they do express interest in learning more about the business at this time, or when you get a chance to set up a second meeting, there's a brochure that really simply explains the business that we're also going to really briefly share with you today.
Aren't these great, Lita? They're so easy.
Right. They make it easy for anyone. And when we started, we did not have such great
I
brochures.
wish we had these.
Yeah.
It takes all the confusion and everything out of it, and it just makes it so clear and concise and easy to understand.
Right. So moving on to this page that you're seeing on the screen right now is the first page inside the business overview. The business overview is a little bit shorter than the membership overview, so this will be brief. But at the top, it talks about some of the advantages of doTERRA as a business opportunity. It talks about their exceptional retention rate and some of the other benefits of the company. And then below that, it introduces the first 3 ways new people typically make their first checks with doTERRA. Retail sales, the Fast Start bonus, which is the bonus you receive whenever you enroll someone, and the Power of 3 bonus, which of course is the bonus you receive at first when you have, well, I won't explain the whole thing right now, but when you begin to have a bit of a structure underneath you. On the second page of the business overview, it goes on to explain the unilevel organizational bonus. On the left-hand side, it shows what one would make in doTERRA. So of course, on your first level, you make 2% of all the orders there and so on. And then it compares by showing that chart in gray with what one might make with an identical business structure with another MLM. So as you can see, or I'm going to tell you in case you can't make it out on the slide, with doTERRA, you'd be making $32,000 with this business structure, and with another comparable MLM with the exact same structure of your business, you'd be making $12,000. So this is just another way of showing how doTERRA's compensation plan is set up to our advantage.
Isn't that amazing, the difference? So keep in mind that's the same amount of work, that's the exact same business structure build out, you have the same amount of people, it's a 3x3 organization, and that's a significant difference in your income. We also want to point out that doTERRA boasts a 65% retention rate. The average retention rate is around 13%. This means that once people start to buy the oils, they continue to be long-lasting customers. The other thing that's really exciting about the doTERRA compensation plan is their leadership bonus pool. When you get to silver, which is the rank that we encourage everybody to strive for, this means that you'll go into the profit sharing plan and you'll begin to get a percentage of the profits. So I'm not going to go over what those all are right now, but when you're showing the sheet, you can go through and read those numbers and just let them know that this is available for them.
And a really awesome thing, a way to think about the leadership pools is that at that point, all of doTERRA, all the wellness advocates are on your team because each month you're actually sharing a little bit of the profit that the company is making from everyone's collective effort. So it really reinforces the spirit and integrity of our team values in doTERRA.
Absolutely, I love that.
And then on the back of the business overview, it just gives you a diagram of the structure you would need to achieve each rank, like silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and so on. So it's a really simple graphic that maps that out for you. But a first step for everyone, like Aisha was saying, is to become silver, which is that gray circle or that silver circle with 3 elites underneath you. And really that's the basis for the whole structure. If you teach people to become elite and then they teach people to become elite, that's how the business continues to duplicate.
The other thing that it points out on the back is the average income for each rank. So if you have somebody intrigued with the business, you can show them what their potential of earning looks like. Okay, so let's talk about those people that have come to your class but they didn't enroll, because that certainly happens and it's absolutely okay. It's important to realize that not everyone enrolls when they attend a class, especially if it's their first introduction or their first touch. Some personality types really need to step back and go home and think about it. So it's crucial that you follow up with a phone call a few days later and casually ask them, hey, what did you think about the class? And would you like to set up an account?
I think that's important to remember because a lot of times, especially when you're new, you can feel a little bit hesitant or a little bit fearful to call somebody, like, oh, they'll feel like I'm bothering them. But I think we talked about this a little bit in class 2, which is that the fear that we feel is real, but it's created by something we're imagining. And all you're really doing is checking in and see if you can do anything to support them.
So write down these questions. What did you think of the class? What stood out to you as something you'd like to try? And then the direct enrolling question, would you like to set up an account to try some oils at the wholesale price? Remember, your fortune is in the follow-up.
Likewise, not everyone who said they were going to come to your class actually came to the class. You can also give those people a call and ask, hey, would you like me to come by and share the information from the class with you? It's important to try to set a time, date, and location while you're on the phone with your person. When setting a date with someone, it's going to save you both a lot of time to just be specific, rather than leaving it at, well, let's get together sometime, which is going to make another phone call and another negotiation of when this is going to happen necessary. Just suggest a specific time and date, and that way you can meet, share the information with them, and see what they'd like to do next.
Exactly. Wow. Easy, right?
Sounds good.
Very easy. So this week, your call to action is to schedule your class. So we want you to get out your names list that you created last week and start inviting your guests. Now, you don't have to invite all 100 of them at once. Just start out in groups of 20 is what we'd recommend. Make sure you're ready with the supplies you need and either have your upline or fellow wellness advocates teach for you. Or if you are confident, teach the class yourself. Schedule your follow-ups, either to have a membership overview with those who signed up or to share the information one-on-one with those who did not attend the class.
As for your continuing support, join us on the Pathway to Success Facebook page to ask questions, share whatever challenges you might be having, and strategize with us to get over any tough spots you find yourself in along the way. We're rooting for you, and we can't wait to hear how it goes.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. We encourage you not to waste any time and start planning your event. We'll see you next week.